Today, we're looking at the oldest piece of electronic music gear that I own. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shout-out goes to Calvin Goring. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So this is my Roland TD-10 drum module. While it is a couple years old, it is incredible and I love it. It's decidedly in the mid-range lineup of Roland's electronic drum brains. You can see it's very small and sleek. It has a very small amount of inputs and outputs. It's only got 5-pin MIDI out, and then it does have USB. It's loaded up with Roland's latest drum samples as well as an SD card slot, so I can load my own samples in there. And I love this thing. Without it, I would not be able to put on the Freebeat live shows that I do. However, this is my Roland TD-10 module, and it is the oldest piece of electronic music gear that I own. This drum module was released in 1997, which of course makes it 25 years old this year. And today we're going to take a look and see what it can do. So back in 1997, this was Roland's flagship model. I haven't had it since then. I was actually able to pick it up used probably about 10 years or so ago for, I think, $80, which is just a steal considering this cost thousands when it came out, and still goes for, I think, around $500 or so on the used market. Now, what do I mean by flagship model? Well, you saw the back of my current TD-10 module. Take a look at the back of this. Yeah. So the first thing you'll probably notice is this giant memory card slot here. Roland actually released an expansion to it that you could expand the sounds and capabilities of this module. Unfortunately, I do not have one, but yeah, you could actually expand it. Super cool. You'll also see that power is like a typical 3-prong like home appliance plug, which is pretty crazy. The cable I'm using for this video is actually from my computer, which is nuts. We've got 5-pin MIDI out plus in, which having MIDI in on your module is a really nice thing, and the current TD-10 that I have does not have that. We've got 12 stereo inputs for drum triggers on the back here, as well as additional inputs for a foot switch and a hi-hat control pedal. So when you consider that all of these are stereo, you could have quite a few triggers plugged into this thing. We have a full 1/4-inch stereo mix in, as well as a 1/4-inch headphone out. Then we have a pair of master outs here, as well as 3 more pairs of direct outs for individually tracking your drums, which is so cool. And I wish the, lower end module still came with this. I believe the TD-50, Roland's high-end module, still has this, but that thing goes for like $5 or $6 grand, I want to say. Like, it's crazy. But you can definitely tell Roland was not messing around on this module. On the front, we have group faders for kick, snare, hi-hat, others, backing, and click, as well as a variety of wheels and soft rubber buttons and velocity-sensitive buttons and clicky buttons for controlling the rest of the interface, and a screen. So let's go ahead and plug this thing in and power it on. So as it powers on here, we're going to see that the internal battery is basically dead. So all of these units do have one of those little CR2032, I think they are, disc batteries. And of course, because this is 25 years old, that battery is dead. I just need to go in and replace it. Should be fairly simple. But here we are in the interface. If you've ever used a Roland drum brain before, this should be pretty, normal. So not only do we have this classic vintage Roland screen here, we've also got this little display, which is nice. And right now I'm just scrolling through the kits that we have access to. I can also use these pads here to scroll through my kits. What's cool about these pads is they're actually rubber, so the idea is you can hit them with a drumstick to change your patch. Super cool. This pad here allows you to preview what sound you have selected. And it is velocity sensitive. So right now we are hearing the kick drum from the Studio V kit. Everything's shaking. If we want to change what trigger we have selected, we can just use this button here to go forward and back. We can also use the rim button to choose the other trigger on the stereo input. So I mentioned they were all stereo. You can actually have 2 sounds on each pad. We can switch between those for preview with the rim button. So on the snare drum, we have it normal, and then with rim, we'll have a rim shot. Cool. However, because we have that wonderful 5-pin MIDI in jack on the back, we can control these sounds with a controller. So I'm going to use the key step. Okay. And right off the bat, you'll hear that these are not drum sounds. And that brings us to the next cool thing about the TD-10 is that it actually has different instruments programmed into it. And not only can you play those, but you can actually plug in multiple controllers to this thing and use them each on different MIDI channels. So this can really be a kind of hub for everything. I believe you can have up to 8 different instruments playing at the same time, which is also how many tracks you can have going in the built-in sequencer at the same time. So if I go ahead and change the key step here to channel 10, I believe, yep, that's drums. There we go. Nice. And of course we can mix right here on the front. Or we can go further in and access a full-blown mixer with individual levels for every sound. We can also easily edit the individual pieces of the kit. Let's take this snare drum here. Let's go Instrument Edit. Now if I click Edit here, I can actually choose the type of material that the shell is made of. So we're on wood, here's steel, here's brass. Pretty cool. We can change the shell depth, 5 inches, let's start at 1. So not only does that change the pitch, but it also changes the overall timbre of the drum. You can go all the way to a 20-inch deep snare drum. I'm going to keep it at my personal preference, which is 5. We can go to the head type. We can have a coated head on there. We can have a clear head. You can have a Remo pinstripe head. And here we can affect just the individual tuning of the drum too. I can click F3 and go to muffle. Now I can actually adjust if we have any muffling on the top of the drum. So right now we have 2 pieces of tape. Let's have nothing. 1 piece of tape, 2 pieces of tape, 1 donut, which is a silencing muffling ring, 2 donuts. We can also adjust the tightness of the strainer, which if you don't know how a snare drum works, there are actually snare wires underneath, and the strainer is what you use to pull those taut against the head or loosen them a little bit. So we have off. That's going to give you almost a tom-tom sound. Loose, medium, or tight. Remember, all of this is from 1997. This was cutting-edge technology back then. And while it doesn't hold up as well these days, it's still pretty cool, and you can get some really good sounds out of these. Next up, we can edit the studio space. So right now we're in a garage, locker room, theater, cave. Here we can adjust the ambience for each individual piece of the kit. We can actually adjust the mic position of the kit, which is really, really cool. We can choose the room size, the wall type, the mics themselves. You can actually adjust the mic on each individual piece of kit, which is just crazy. There's way too much in here to, cover in one quick 10-15 minute video. Yeah, we're really just scratching the surface of what you can edit with all the sounds. Which is why it's fun to use some of their preset kits. Gotta love a good orchestra kit. Of course, you have your classic 808 and 909. A whole bunch of great sounding for the time acoustic kits. Yeah, super fun. Yeah, there's some fun stuff in here. You do also have access to a full EQ and effects section. Yeah, there's just a lot. Let's go into the sequencer really quick here. We have a whole bunch of patterns that are preset, but we can scroll all the way to number 51, which is the first user preset. I believe patterns can be up to 4 measures long, and they give us 50 user patterns. We have an 8-track sequencer. Let's try and record something on a drum kit. Let's pick a normal drum kit. There we go. Back to the sequencer here. Let's see if I click record. There's our click. Quantize. I'll keep it off. I'm going to turn on hit pad start. That means it won't start recording till I hit the pad, I believe.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There we go. Oh, so much better. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they can be longer than 4 measures. I see. Okay, let's clear this off real quick. We'll go edit, clear, clear, clear. Yeah. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Nice. So let's go to a different MIDI channel here. Okay, MIDI channel 6 is a piano. Sure. Let's record something over this loop. Well, that was awful. I totally messed up the keyboard part, and I messed up where I was in the sequence. Okay, I just accidentally erased everything, and that's fine because what I played was absolutely horrid. So let's record again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's fine. You can quantize, but I did not, obviously. Okay, let's just play something super basic now on the keys. Again, remember, all the sounds are coming from the TD-10 right now. Cool, there we go. Really, really basic. Let's try to play a cheesy little piano solo over the top of it, shall we? Maybe we'll mess it all up. That's okay, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. From there, we can mix on the fly. We can go and edit the drum sounds. We can probably edit the piano. I have no clue how to get to that menu, though. There's a lot in here. I might start using this. It's pretty fun, honestly. Maybe next time we'll try to hook it up to like the MPC-1 and play around with it that way so we can actually finger drum. So yeah, no real point of this video, you know, telling you to go buy one of these or anything like that. But if you do happen to have an old Roland drum brain laying around, pick it up and see what it can do, because this is honestly pretty impressive. I actually have a Roland TD-10 sitting around, which was my first Roland drum module, which I picked up in 2005, I think, and I used that one for a very, very long time. That was the model right under this one. So yeah, if you've got an old Roland drum brain laying around, pick it up and see what it can do. Let me know if you've got one down in the comments. Surely someone out there has one of these, you know, just hanging out that you haven't used in a decade. Give it a shot. So I do hope you found this video entertaining. If so, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.